360-degree virtual tours, HLS Show Me How. Hi, my name is Michael Giannotti, and I'm a Microsoft Teams technology specialist with Microsoft's Healthcare and Life Sciences group here in the United States. You can always find myself as well as all of my colleagues with many posts answering customer questions at https://aka.ms/HLS blog. That's at aka.ms/HLS blog. So today's particular Show Me How really is addressing a few challenges that we've seen with organizations looking to do a number of things. The first of which is many of our organizations, as they're doing employee onboarding, they want to ramp that up with a familiarization of existing facilities for those employees so that either as they're bringing them directly to those facilities or as they're starting to transition them from a work at home to a return to work scenario, that those employees will have some sense of familiarity and not have to learn things from the beginning. Also, I've seen many, I work in healthcare, and there are many hospital organizations that I've seen that have various construction type of endeavors underway, and so they're adding new points to their facilities, increasing bandwidth. There's been consolidation and acquisitions, and so again, being able to virtually do that and help those employees to become familiar with the facility without physically being there can be very beneficial. Number two, organizations are looking to provide immersive, captivating, contextual training for staff that's easily updated and relevant. And one of the examples that I have seen and been asked about on a number of occasions, and this is an example, is if you think about a pre-op room at a hospital, before they go into the operating theater or the operating room to perform surgery, there's surgeons and other clinical staff are sterilizing, they're getting, fitted, they're putting their gowns on, gloves, masks, they're washing, they're doing all the things that they need to do, right? And there may be many elements within a room, and that equipment and various pieces that are there are sometimes updated, new pieces are provided. And again, we might have a physician or someone else who is now coming from another facility and then coming into this new one, and where are those things and how to familiarize them. So being able to have them go into an immersive, very natural experience where they can interact and then pull up training and information around various items and content, of huge benefit. So finally, all of this all sounds pretty cool to be able to do all this virtually. The problem is we want the content creation, it's got to be intuitive, point and click, so that we can facilitate edge creation and access. In other words, we don't want to overload. We have our, formal enterprise training that needs to take place. And there are folks within each organization typically that handle that kind of formal training around compliance and et cetera, and things that are happening. But there is much more that needs to happen at a local level. Again, I'll use a hospital as example. You could have nurses that are a part of a key area, and hey, maybe they're doing some updates to the nursing station at a particular wing of a hospital, or again, a pre-op room or other things where they're introducing new equipment, new processes and procedures. How can they provide and build their own training without the need of it being very complex and a steep learning curve? We want it intuitive. So that is a challenge. And again, it could be, you can extrapolate that out. If we talk about pharmaceuticals, same thing with labs, etc., IT organizations, construction sites. I mean, this is a pervasive challenge everywhere. How do I provide this immersive experience that people, it draws them in, it's captivating, but it provides them a very easy and natural way to learn about a facility or a physical area, and then to provide them training within that. Well, the solution is this. In Microsoft SharePoint Spaces, the SharePoint Spaces team recently added an additional element that can be inserted into any SharePoint space. Now, if you're not familiar with SharePoint Space, they provide a point and click solution where you can create a immersive space that people can navigate in using a browser. Those spaces can be dropped into teams so that people can interact with them there. And then they can have interactive elements that pull up all kinds of content, including 360 videos, links to meetings, all kinds of great stuff can be in there. But the newest element is something called tours. And a 360 tour allows you to create a new accessible element that when you click, it'll bring you into an immersive image, 360 degrees spherical image that you can navigate and look at. And again, you can do that right in your browser, or if you have a headset, a VR headset, you can actually use that. So you can very naturally just look around. But it allows you to do that to link to additional, from within there, additional 360 images. So think of that tour, right? Going from room to room to room, or space to space to space. And within each of those, it has a very simple, easy to use interface to edit, where you can add, existing media assets, or if you create ones, it could be as simple as a PDF, or it could be a video talking about how to use this new sterilization equipment or something else. You can quickly and easily then add those interactive components within that spherical piece. And we're going to see that and how easy it is. And again, you can reuse that experience. The beauty of it is, though, to create that immersive image, this doesn't have to be expensive. This can be done simply. Consumer 360 image cameras that are out there today for imagery and video, and they all do both, right? I think of Insta360 or Ricoh, and there are a host of others that are doing this. GoPro has them. You can go out there and with a low-cost consumer device running several $100s, you can then create high-resolution content or 360 immersive images that you can then leverage within these tours. And then finally, the whole thing can be quickly, within a couple of clicks, brought front and center right within Microsoft Teams, where people are actually doing their work, so you can bring those immersive experiences, that virtual tour, that training for that pre-op room and its equipment, etc. You can bring it front and center where the people work. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a demonstration, and the way we're going to do it is this. Normally I quick show people and get them all excited. You're going to have to hang on and watch. We are going to build from scratch. We are going to provision a SharePoint space. Then we are going to upload the assets for that 360 tour. I have some spherical pieces that we'll upload, and then we'll upload a couple of little videos and maybe a PDF or something. But then we'll do that. Then we will add a tour, a 360 tour within the SharePoint space. We'll then edit that tour so we can show moving from space to room to room with that spherical bit, as well as adding some of those media elements where, if I look at a particular object, I can click and have a video pop up and give me training around it, or pop up and show me a PDF that I can even print out to take with me if desired. Once we're done, we're going to save it. We're going to interact with that tour, and guess what? It's going to be simple, easy, and take minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so not to waste any time, but real quickly, you can see here I'm at SharePoint. I'm at lookbook.microsoft.com. It's for SharePoint Lookbook. This is where I got the template to do our under solutions. There is this new one, new Employee Onboarding Hub, where you simply go in. It tells you all about it. When you're ready, click Add to your tenant. It's going to ask you to go ahead, and then you can change parameters, etc. When you're done, click Provision, and that's it. You need to be a site admin, a tenant admin to do this, but once it's instantiated, they can then turn that over to somebody else. And this is the resulting site that was set up. Very attractive. It's responsive design, has all kinds of areas you can see here where it has stuff for preparing for one-on-ones with managers, onboarding buddies or mentors, Yammer communities, finding a mentor, attend network, paying expenses, all kinds of stuff that you would think. We want to set up an area for virtual tours of the facilities. So facilities, virtual tours. To do that, we want to create a space, but when we select new, there are no options for a space. We need to enable that. So we're going to come here to our little gear. We're going to select site information, view all site settings, then manage site features. Scroll on down from here and you'll see here is spaces, and we're going to activate this particular feature. That's it. It was that quick. Boom. Return to our home page. And now if I select a drop down, I can create a space. So let's go ahead and we'll call this our Contoso Facilities Tours. There we go. We're going to select create as soon as we pick an option. Let's make this let's make it be like an amphitheater. We'll click create. It's going to build that immersive environment, and just like that, there we are. We are in the editing view, just to be clear. You notice we have the publish option. But here we can see we can scroll around, do all kinds of goodies. These are attractive backgrounds, but I'd prefer something more generic for our purposes. So, we're going to come on down here to background. I'm going to select color, but you could use a custom 360 image. We'll take the default of blue, and now we've got this beautiful space in which to put our facility tours. We can put multiples of those. The next step that I had mentioned, though, in our preview was that I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open in a new tab, the home page, and we'll go back to our little gear once it appears. There it is. And I'm going to select Site Contents. We want to, in our Documents folder, upload the files that we are going to use. I've already created a folder, Virtual Tour, and to save time, I've uploaded a number of 360 spherical images. I've also uploaded a pre-operation checklist, and I've uploaded a video, little quick creation to show a training video for gadget creation. So we don't have to actually upload them. To do so, though, would have been as easy as selecting File, Upload, and here are those files, as you can see. So they're pre-uploaded. That means I can now come here to our facilities tour, and to add content to a space in the edit mode, I select the plus, and here are all the things I can do: a 360 image, 360 tour, 360 video, 3D object, document library, file viewer, image, people, text, and video. All of those have options then for interaction within them. For example, frequently to open up a meeting or an event type piece, I'll put an image and then link it with a hyperlink. But we want this 360 tour. So I'm going to click, and as soon as I come on that bottom area, boom, you can see it changes. So it wants me to place it somewhere. I'm going to place this one front and center. And then it's looking as a tour for an initial 360 image. So we're going to start in the lobby of the Microsoft MTC. Now, these images that I have here, they're not the greatest. I have an old original way back when Ricoh Theta camera, and I took these images. I wish I had a newer one, but that's not in my budget. So I don't have one. It's just a personal device I've had for many years. But it'll do. But again, if you have a newer one, you're going to get high, 4K, 5K type imagery, much higher resolution than I'm going to have. But we're going to select this initial one, which is the lobby at the Microsoft offices in MTC in Malvern, Pennsylvania. I'm going to select Open, and it drops this little object on our palette. Now, if you'll notice, that's pretty small. I want it to be a little more apparent. So I'm going to click on it. It then provides a box framework, and I'm going to select one of the front corners, and we're just going to expand that a bit. Like that a bit bigger. There we go. And now you can kind of get a sense as to what this is. I could also add some text on it if I wanted. But what I'm going to do now is select this option, the edit. And notice how I can affect then this whole view and what it looks like. But also we have this thing for open a tour, open the tour builder. And it has some text here, and it says create a 360 tour by linking together a sequence of 360 images. So you'll move from room to room, right? And you can annotate each of those images then with text, other images, video, audio, or files. Sounds great to me. So once I've opened it, here it is. And if I click and hold, you can notice I can drag and go. Again, it's a full 360 video. And maybe I want to add some text explaining what something is. So here, for example, I'm going to click and we'll say annotate. I could link to another 360 image, and when somebody clicks it, it would take them into that. But I want to select annotate, and I have an option to put text, an image, a video, an audio file, or a file. We're going to select text, and I'll say stairs to the Microsoft second story sales offices. There we go. And then I simply click out. It leaves that element. The hand indicates that it's interactive. I could click it to edit it, but it's now added it into this particular image. I'm going to scroll around a little more, and this is my central point. We want to link to another image to go through from one experience of exploration. Again, I could add more text around. I could add an audio file explaining these are the elevators or whatever, and somebody would click in and it would play that. But what I want to do is now enter the MTC here. So I'm going to click, select link a 360 image. And I'm going to call this MTC lobby. And we're going to add an additional 360 image. So the lobby picture, here it is. We're going to select open. And I'm going to select there. So now it's added that piece. I'm going to go ahead and publish our page, and we're going to take a look at what we have. And it gives me a link to this space. That's great. We could do something with that. I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to add it actually in a text file because we're going to use that a little bit, in just a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and close this. And now that it's published, you can see here it is. Again, we can navigate. I can come here when I mouse over, stairs to the second story, sales offices. If I come here and mouse over, MTC lobby. And when I click that, notice it brings me through into the lobby area. And here we go. Here's that lobby area. I now want to edit this particular one. And from this view here, now I can add additional objects. So, we could come in and I could say, oh, I don't know. Let's say I want to pick this particular station. I'll go ahead and select that. Again, we're going to annotate this one. I'm going to say this is the MTC guest sign in, and we'll click out of that, and so that'll let people see that's what that is. I can add additional elements. So I'm going to suppose, let's say I'm going to put two different things. Let's say that we were given a facilities of that pre-op room, right? And this is a new gadget for sterilization of objects or whatever, Gadget X. I'm going to go ahead and just underneath it, I'm going to say annotate this image, and I want to add a video. And we'll say this is Gadget X training video. All right, show the description. And so it wants that, and then I'm going to add video. And so if we come on through, there's only one video in here in recent. I could go to my OneDrive and grab one. I could navigate within the site. I could upload one or get a link, but understand the link is from SharePoint or OneDrive. That's it. So I already have this recent. I'm going to select open. There we go. And I can close outside of that. And then I'm going to say over for here, we can add another object. And just to show you what this looks like, I'm again going to annotate. And we're going to add a file. And we'll call this pre-op checklist. And again, we're just kind of describing some things that we could go. There's that checklist. We're going to go ahead and add that file. Select close, and I'm going to go ahead and publish this view, right? So now we have this published view. Again, if I mouse over, MTC guest sign in, right? We're exploring our space. Here's that checklist, pre-op checklist. If I click that, it gives me a preview here, and it gives me the ability to open in a new tab, a view of that. I'm going to get the full view of this checklist. I can then print this off. I can save it. I can do whatever I need to do. When I close this particular view, I'm back here. I can just either click the X or outside of it. And here is my training video, right? We're going to go ahead and select that. And it's going to pull up that video here in a player. There we go. And it's demo of Gadget X. And there I am. Boy, this is a very educational video. Very educational, right? But you get the idea. So I can insert now all these different media elements. And then I can add additional rooms. I could come back to edit. And maybe I want to show going to this further back space. So I'll say here, we're going to link to another 360 image. And we'll call this MTC Hall. And we're going to add that 360 image, and that one would be this one here. Open, boom. We'll select it. So now that's there. I can republish. And now I have not only these interactive elements, but I can then move into a further space, right? Boom. And I can create these navigational schemas back and forth. And I've created a single tour here now to facilitate. Again, I could add some text here. I'll just quick click edit, and just to show you, let's go ahead and we're going to add text. We'll say it's right here. And we're going to call this our MTC tour. It could be pre-op tour. It could be whatever. Go ahead and grab that. Close. Then I can grab this particular piece. I can place it where I'd like. I can affect the tilt of it. Whoops. We can change the size of it. We can make it bigger, smaller. There's a whole range of options around stuff that we can do, with the text, etc. I'm just going to leave. We'll put it right there. There we go. And republish. And so now here you can see there's our MTC tour. And again, I can place that, do what we want. But here we go. We're here. We navigate in. Boom. We're looking around. We're getting training. Boom. We're pulling up a video. We're doing something else. I mean, it's all right here in one area that allows us to quickly and easily create tours for training and for virtual tours of spaces for onboarding. So that's it. I hope that's given you a semblance as to how simple it is and how powerful it is. I mean, we only scratched the surface, putting a few elements, going from a room to room to room type situation. I could have put a single room with many elements where we have multiple training videos or documents that could be printed off, checklists. Whatever the case is, it's simple, it's intuitive, it's powerful. Virtual tours and tours of training. You can do it too. SharePoint Spaces, we enable the spaces within a given site. We add a space, then we add 360 tours. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. and it spawned your imagination for ideas that you can use for your organization. If you have additional questions or ever want to reach myself or my colleagues, again, you can always find us at aka.ms/HLS blog. That's aka.ms/HLS blog. You can also connect with me personally on LinkedIn if you go to linkedin.com/in/Mike Giannotti. And finally, I'm also a frequent poster on Twitter at twitter.com/Giannotti. So find me any one of those places. Happy to connect with you. And if you have further questions, please let me know. With that, I want to thank you for watching today's Show Me How video. Get started with your spaces today and rock it on. With that, Mike Giannotti bidding you have a great day. Thanks, and as always, ciao.